Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be testing out and reviewing the newest concealer from Pacifica. This is their Dreamlit Glow Concealer. Now it retails for $16 US and you can only find it in 5 different shades. Unfortunately, I have 4 of the 5 shades with me, which I will be swatching for you guys to give you a better idea of what they look like on the back of my hand. Now, as far as the details for this concealer, the website states that it is meant for all skin types and it is specifically meant to target dark circles and dark spots. As far as the formula, it's supposed to be a creamy serum-like formula that is going to smoothly melt into our skin. It's supposed to make the skin look brighter and lifted, make skin feel like I'm not wearing anything at all. We'll see about that. The formula is also infused with vegan squalane, vegan collagen, and specialized mineral pigments. So it's not only meant to conceal, but also it's infused with skincare ingredients. So it's like a 2-in-1 product. Now let's get into the swatches really quick. Like I said, I have 4 of the 5 shades. All right, so we're gonna start off with shade number 9. If I can open it, I just put lotion on my hands and oh my gosh, I can't open this. All right, got it. All right, so that is 9 right there. Next we have shade number 7, which is quite a jump, okay? It's quite a jump from the last swatch. So that is 7 right there. Next is shade number 5, and that is what shade number 5 looks like. And last but not least, shade number 3, and that is shade number 3. So here they are side by side. I think I am gonna have to mix shade number 9 and shade number 7 together, because if I use 9 by itself, it's gonna be too light. And you guys know the drill when it comes to the reviews. I am gonna be wearing one side with a color corrector and the other side without to see what type of coverage this delivers with and without, whether or not you need a corrector in order to truly conceal darkness underneath the eyes or anything like that. The one that I'm gonna be using for today is my Sigma Spectrum Color Correcting Duo in the shade Medium to Deep, which looks like this. I think I'm just going to be, no, maybe I will mix them. Usually this side I will use if I want to brighten up the under eye area a little bit more, and this side I will use if I'm only looking to conceal. But when I mix them both, it does kind of like a little bit of both. So it does correct and it also brightens a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do today. Just mix the 2 of them. Let's go ahead and just get started. Let's get into it. And I'm only gonna be color correcting the right side, not the left side. Underneath the corrector and the concealer, all that I have is just my skincare. So I just have like my eye cream underneath the eye, nothing else. Now, since I'm using a powder foundation for the day, I'm gonna be applying concealer first and then go in with foundation. The foundation that I'm using for today is this new one from Lawless. It is their Perfecting Powder Skin Smoothing Powder Foundation in the shade Medium. I am in love with this foundation, like absolutely in love. I love the way that my skin looks. It evens everything out and it feels so nice and light, which this concealer is supposed to feel that way as well. It's nice, light, kind of like no makeup, like second skin is what it's described as. Now, based on the swatches, I'm gonna be mixing shade number 9 and number 7. I love that these are glass tubes and not plastic. Really, really like that. So I'm gonna start with number 7. We're gonna start on the right side. Number 7 here, here, here. Is that too little? No, that should be enough. And then this is number 9. I started with, my goodness. This is number 9 on my eye. This is number 7. So we're gonna go in with a little bit of number 7 now. And I'm gonna be blending it out with my Soft Blend number 10 brush. Since I'm using such a small amount, I wanna make sure that that I get the most out of the small amount that I'm using with this concealer. Even 2 dots of number 7 may have been too much. It's a little deeper than I was expecting it to be, honestly, but that is okay. It is blending out like a dream. Oh, it's not too bad now. And I feel like I got really like nice coverage going on. Okay, very, very nice and light. Because I did use a little bit of the 7, like a little bit more of the 7 than of the 9, it gave me like this very natural looking under eye area. So it kind of matches my skin, my complexion rather. It matches it pretty well. So I'm going to do the same on the left side. 3 dots of number 9 and then 2 dots of number 7. Now for this one, I may have to build it up because I don't have the color corrector underneath, but we'll see. Number 7 actually is working out as kind of like a color corrector for me. So that's nice. Again, taking the same blending brush and then blending this under the eye. Honestly, I'm happy with the way that it's concealing underneath both eyes, right? This side does seem to be a little bit brighter than this side does, but not by much. And it's concealing really, really well. I'm kind of tempted to build it up just a tiny bit just to see what that looks like. So I am going to do that. Just a very, very small amount. Like that. And like that. Wait, that's way too small. Okay, like that. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. And of course, mixing in a little bit of number 7 as well. All right, it builds up nicely. I don't see any disturbance of the first layer with the second layer. It looks really good. Now this side. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna set this yet or not. So I'm gonna leave it like this for now. I'm gonna get off camera really quickly, apply foundation, which is gonna be a powder foundation, and then at that point, I will decide whether or not to set it, so I'll be back with that. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, ready to set the under eye area because look what it's doing. It is settling into any crevice, any kind of fine line that I have underneath the eyes. This is settling right in. It's right at home. I don't love that. So we are gonna blend it away and then we're gonna set it. And I'm gonna set it with one of my all-time favorite setting powders, okay? This is from Oma Beauty. It is their, I always forget, Trippin' Smooth Powder in the shade Light. It is the most, okay, the most finely milled powder you will ever run into. Ever, ever, ever. I don't have every single, setting powder in the world, but I have quite the collection and I've yet to run into a powder that's similar to this. It feels like silky smooth, like, I don't know, smoother than butter. It just feels so, so nice and soft and light. And therefore it does create this very beautiful, like blurred, like soft focus effect on the skin, including the under eye area, or at least that's how I find it to be. It's very, very smoothing. So we're going to blend this out again since, it's looking a little settled. Not bad though. Not bad. I think I may have added a little bit too much of the number 7 because it is looking a little bit deeper under the eyes, but it is helping to conceal. So I'm like, and you can't tell as much over here as you can over here. I feel like the left side doesn't have any kind of help as far as like a corrector underneath it. It only has the concealer, which is why you can see kind of like the orange tone more so in this one, or like the deeper tone. But it still looks really nice. So we're gonna blend it away and set it very, very, very lightly. Now this is supposed to be a hydrating formula, so obviously I'm always worried that the under eye area is going to look super dry because that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to avoid that. But with it being hydrating, I'm hopeful that it won't look excessively dry, So I'm just gonna take my little triangle powder puff and just pack it with a little bit of that setting powder from Oma Beauty. Tilt my head down, and this is going to go here and set it. It did deepen the concealer a little bit, which we don't love to see. That's okay. That's okay. We can go back with the brightening powder and help brighten it so that it's wearable at least for the day, but we'll still be able to get a good idea of what the concealer, like how it performs throughout the day. So again, same thing over here, just setting it with a little bit of powder. All right, so the only issue that I'm having is that the shade deepened a little bit more once I set it, but it looks really nice and light and pretty smooth underneath the eyes. So I'm gonna bring you guys in close so that you can see what I see up close and personal. And then I'm gonna try to brighten it up with like my Essence brightening powder, or perhaps even the KKW one. I don't know. I don't know yet, but let me bring you guys in so that you can see the under eye area up close after initial application. All right, so you see what I mean? Obviously the shade, not the greatest, but it does look nice and smooth, and for the most part, pretty concealed. All right, so let's try to brighten this up a little bit. So I'm going to use my Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder, the same powder puff that I used to apply the setting powder. I'm going to take a little bit of this and brighten up the under eye area with it. Just a little bit. My eyes have been super watery lately. Not sure what's going on there, but it's been driving me crazy. All right, so now let's go over to the other side and brighten this side up a little bit. You know what I think I might do? Do I leave it like this? Or I might also add a little bit of a pink powder. This one's from KKW. I wish other brands would come out with like nice pressed pink powders, because I really like them as far as what they do underneath the eyes. They definitely brighten, but without making it look like you've just got way too much under the eyes because they're pressed. So anyway, I'm going to take a tiny bit of the pressed and just place it on top just so that it doesn't look as yellow and that I can wear it today without an issue. All right, so now that I've added additional product onto the concealer, I'm gonna zoom you guys in one more time so that you can see what it looks like as of right now before I get started with the day. All right, so here we are. This is the side that was color corrected to begin with, and this is the side that was not. All right, let me jump off camera one last time, finish the rest of my face, and I will be right back. All right, I am back, makeup is done, ready to continue on with the day. So far, I really like it. I really love the way that the under eye area looks. It looks nice and concealed. Even the side, I think that it feels or it looks like I'm getting better coverage over on the left side, the side that I did not color correct versus the side that I did. It could also be due to the fact that, the number 7 concealer, like I said, it just came through a little bit stronger than the number 9 because it is a bit deeper. And like I said, it's quite the jump. So perhaps that is helping it, but it looks good up close nonetheless. Even though I set it with a powder, I applied the banana powder, the Brighten Up powder from Essence, and I also applied a little bit of the KKW Beauty setting powder, the pink one. And it still looks really nice. It looks really good. This is very promising, but like I always say, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. So we're going to hold off on any opinions of the product until at least halfway through the day. So it is currently 10:12 in the morning. Of course, I plan on wearing this all day long like I usually do. And don't worry, I'll be back halfway through the day to show you guys some close-ups, see how the concealer is doing up to that point. Fingers crossed that it still looks like this, because if it does, anyway, I'll see you back here in a few hours for my midday check-in. All right, I am back for a quick midday check-in. It is currently 2:43 in the afternoon. As a reminder, I am on my phone, front-facing camera, so these sides look flipped to you. This is the side that we did not color correct, and this is the side that we did color correct. So with that being said, let me bring you in nice and close. This is what it looks like underneath the eyes. You know, a little dry, but the concealer really hasn't moved around. And although it looks a little dry because of all the powders that I placed on top of it, it's still pretty put. As a matter of fact, I feel like the side that I color corrected, which is this one, remember it's flipped, it lost a little bit of coverage. I mean, am I right or am I wrong? I don't know, but it's still put. It still looks really nice, or pretty good, really good actually. I've had a lot of different experiences with concealers. This one's definitely one of the better ones. So I'll continue to wear this for a few more hours to call it a full day. I do plan on hitting the gym tonight, so probably about another 2-3 hours. You know, it won't be a full day, but I feel like especially after like 5-6 hours for sure, you kind of know how a product is going to wear or how it wore for the majority of the day. You know, you put it through the majority of the day, and therefore you can get a good idea of what it did. So I'll see you back here in a few more hours for my final check-in. Yeah, we'll see whether or not we're still looking like this. Hopefully we are, but anyway, I'll see you all in a few. All right, I am back for my final check-in of the day. Where is my phone? I have no idea. Found it. It is currently, oh my gosh, why do I have so many notifications? It's 3:55. I'm ending this one a little bit early just because, like I said, I have other things to, well, I have to go to the gym, or I want to squeeze that in there. And there's nothing worse for me. I mean, you know, this could be an unpopular opinion, or this could just be my opinion. There's nothing worse than working out in a full face of makeup. I just can't. I can't. So, but I really wanted to finish this review. So before I get into what I think about this concealer after wearing it for an entire day, I'm going to zoom you all in one last time so that you can get a close look underneath the eyes after almost a full day of wear. All right, so here we are. As a reminder, this is the side with the Sigma corrector underneath it, and this is the side without. All right, so what do I think? I actually really like these. Okay, I really like these. They're hydrating enough to where they didn't move around, and hydrating enough to where I placed 3, okay guys? 3 different powders on top of this formula, and it's still, like, it looks maybe just a tad bit dry, but with mostly any other concealer, or most of the concealers that I own, most of the concealers that I've tried, if you did that with them, sorry, I need to take this off, I'm a little hot. If I were to do that, place 3 different powders on top, it would probably look super crusty, super dry, like just not good. This one, however, whether you're wearing it with a corrector or without a corrector, you get coverage, and it doesn't look excessively dry after setting it with multiple powders. Now, the only thing that I have to kind of play around with is the shade, because they don't have like a specific or like a wider shade range, unfortunately, because the formula is actually really, really nice. But because they don't have a wider shade range, you are going to have to mix, like, you just are. Bottom line is the formula itself performed so well for me. So well. So I am going to continue to play with the ratios of like the shade number 9 and shade number 7 to see like what works best. Because I didn't love the fact that my under eye area appeared kind of excessively dark, especially over here on this side. And so that's why I had to go in with additional powder to lighten it. But I did like the coverage. I actually love the coverage. I actually feel like I'm getting better at coverage without a corrector than with a corrector. So there's that. Pretty blown away. pretty blown away with this formula. I really, really like it. If you haven't tried it, if you're looking at it, if you're curious about it, and if you don't mind perhaps having to mix a couple of shades to make your own custom shade, then definitely give this one a try. It's worth a try. Like, I'm going to continue to play with this one over and over and over again just to see if I can perfect it a little bit better, but wearing it the way that I did today, which is 2 different ways, and with quite a few powders on top, it looks really good. It looks really good underneath the eyes. I'm happy with it. I would be happier if they would add more shades to the shade range, you know, because I did see the lightest one, and the lightest one is just not that light. And the deepest one, it's deep, but not that deep. I don't know. I just want to see more in there other than just 5. So that might be like the only downside. Other than that, it's a solid formula. It has good ingredients that keep the under eye area looking very, very hydrated, even when you place, like, you know, multiple powders on top of it. And it delivers really nice coverage. It stays in place. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel dry. Like, I really, really like it. So that completes today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed today's product review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, where I absolutely love to interact with you guys. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.